Hi guys, welcome to Android Guider. So in this video we are going to review the Resurrection Remix 5.7.3. This is an official build and this ROM is based on Android Marshmallow 6.0.1 and CyanogenMod 13. It incorporates in the August 5, 2016 security patch, which is the latest security patch. The build date is 7th of August and the stock kernel is at enforcing by default. Additionally, the developer options are also enabled by default, so you don't need to tap on the build number several times to enable them. So first of all, we have the status bar settings. So under the clock customizations, you can customize the position of the clock, right, center, or left. Then we have the AM/PM style. So I will just be showing you both the normal and the small font styles, and you can have a look at the changes in the top right corner of the screen. This the normal font style, and this the small font style. Similarly with the date, we have the normal and the small font styles. And then we have various date styles too. This is the normal one. Currently I'm running on the normal one, and this is the lowercase one, and this is the uppercase one. Then you can also customize the position of the date, left of time or right of time. Then we have various date formats too. So these are the ones which we have. Then next up we have the color switch. So from you by using this you can configure the color of the clock and date. So this update of Resurrection Remix brings in a new color picker, and earlier people were reporting problems wherein they had to decrease the DPI of their phones, because they were not able to access certain features of the color picker. Most of the problems which were reported in the Resurrection Remix Google Plus community were that they were not able to select the colors because certain section of the color picker was getting blocked, or they were not able to view it or access it, whatever you may call that as, because of the increased DPI. And the users had to decrease the DPI to actually access the uh, access all the features of the color picker, and to be able to configure the color as per their choice. So this update fixes all of that stuff, and a similar color picker can be seen in Cyanide and AOS IP2. So uh, just like the previous color picker, we have the Resurrection material and the RGB colors. And this time you can also assign favorite colors to colors which you use most commonly. And to do that, you just need to pick any color of your choice, and then you can just long press on any empty favorites color. So say if I want to set pink as my favorite color, then I will just long press on this any on the empty color panel in the favorites, under the favorites category, and then I can set it as a favorite color. And if you want to replace any favorite color, then you can just long press on the existing favorite color and it will be replaced. And then sorry, if you want to just set any color, then you can just use this check mark option right next to the color, this one. I'll just set it as red, and this is the check mark option which I'm talking about. Then we have various font styles too, and these are the options which we have. And then in the end you can configure the font size to the minimum being 4 and the maximum being 23. Then we have various battery icon styles: the portrait icon, landscape icon, circle icon, text icon, and you can just hide it. The dot circle option is missing from most of the ROMs these days. And then you can also show the battery percentage if you want to, inside the icon or next to the icon. Then we have the battery bar settings, so you can customize the location of the battery bar, top of the status bar, top of the navigation bar, or at the bottom of the navigation bar. Then we have the battery bar styles. I'll just increase the thickness a bit first of all. Okay, so this is the regular one, this is the center mirrored one, and this is the reversed one. Then if you want to show the charging animation too, you can do that. And then we can configure the color of the battery bar too. So Then you can after configuring the color of the battery bar, you can also configure its thickness, as you just saw I did it. Then you can also configure the charging color. I'll just go ahead with green, and then you can configure the low battery bar color too, and the low level color, and all that stuff, and then the high level color too. Say this. And then if you want to use a gradient of all the low level color, the high level color, the battery bar low color, and the battery bar color, if you want to use a gradient of all of them, then you can just check in this option, and it will form a subtle mixture of all these colors and give you a mixture of all these colors wherever you have in the battery bar. Then we have the status bar icons. So from in here you can just enable or disable any icons in the status bar which you want to. So say at the moment the Wi-Fi icon is being shown in the status bar, and the moment I just check it off, it disappears from the status bar. Similarly, we have the carrier label settings now. So from the top, you can customize the location of the carrier label. Either you can show it on the lock screen or the status bar, or on both of them. Then if you want to have any custom carrier label in, then you can do that. Then we have you can also configure the color of the carrier label. Next up we have the font styles, and again, if you want to have a look at them, then you can configure the text size too. So the plus and the minus, you also get this new feature in this update of Resurrection Remix. These plus and minus icons are new in this update. And then if you want to hide the carrier label after a certain number of notifications are in the status bar, after a certain number of notification icons are in the status bar, then you can just configure that too. This just prevents the clogging up of the status bar. Then next up we have the network traffic settings. So if you want to enable the outgoing or the incoming, or both the outgoing and the incoming network traffics, then you can do that. Then you can select the display unit, bits per second or bytes per second, color style, then we have the update interval, auto hide the network arrows when there is no data exchange going on, and using for that you can even configure the threshold speed. Then if you want to hide the arrows in the network traffic indicators, then you can do that too. Then next up we have the Resurrection logo. So you can configure the color of the logo too, and the location of the logo, left, center, right, or before the status bar icons. Then we have the custom logos too. So first of all you can configure the color, and then these are the options which we have. So a lot to choose from too. I'll just go with the Pokeball one. Then we have the status, then you can also enable or disable the headset icon. Then we have the status bar weather temperature. So if you want to show it with scale, without scale, or just hide the weather. And if you are showing the weather, then you can adjust its placement, left or right, temperature, color, font styles. Again, these are the similar options which we have already seen, and you can configure the font size too. Then we have brightness control, show notification count, double tap to sleep, super user indicator, show 4G instead of LTE, 3G instead of HSPA, and then we have the 3 breathing notifications. Next up we have the notification draw settings. So we do get time contextual headers, and there are a lot of image packs to choose from. Again, I had covered them up mostly in my 5.7.1 review too, but again, the nature image pack, this is pretty familiar. Then this is the poly time based one. Well, these are the Google then these are the Google colors, the Google pixels. I'll just quickly show them to you. Then we have the pixels full version 2. This is pixels full, Resurrection Remix logos. Then we have some pitch black headers. This is the paper one, magic one now. then camouflage. Again, if you want to have a look at this too, and this is Orioles. So just to configure all the stuff, you can additionally configure the shadow header image and the header text shadow too, and then in the end you can also configure the text shadow color too. So this is how it looks like at 0% of the shadow header image, and when I just say increase it, say to about 50%, this is how it will look like. It will just give it a shadowy effect. And I'll just put this now to 0, and then you can have a look at the text color in the notification header too. So that's all what we have in the custom header settings. Then we have the header items, so you can show the extended status bar button, the task manager, enable halo, notification clock, date, clock detail, notification panel battery text, notification icons, notification panel user switcher, show the weather. You can also configure that. If you want to show the weather, then you need to check in this option in the end. Then we have the notification header fonts. Similar options. You can customize the fonts of the AM PM style, clock, weather, other text font styles, date and alarm. So a lot of options to configure. And then you can customize the color of the clock, date, text color line 1, text color line, the weather text color line 1, weather text line 2, battery text while charging, next alarm text color. Again, a lot of customizations in. Then we have the force expanded notifications and we also get the disable immersive mode messages. In the end, we have the panel feature, colorize the notifications and the volume dialog and the notification panel too. Then you can do all that stuff from in here. So if you want to customize the color of the notification background in, then you can configure all that stuff. You can also configure the color of the clear alloy icon, adjust the transparency of the notifications in. Again, this is a new feature which we have in this room, in this update. And then if you want to customize the stroke color, this is the stroke color, this the border color. Again, you can customize that, its thickness, corner radius, dash width, dash gap and all that. And if you want to show the logo too, this is the resurrection logo that appears right in the background of the quick settings panel. And then you can also adjust its transparency, power menu opacity and the dim background amount. All that can be configured, and you can do similar stuff with the volume dialog box too. Then next up we have the quick settings panel settings. So we have quick pull down, smart pull down, number of quick setting tiles per row, enable the 3 location states in the quick settings, enlarge first row quick setting tiles. So these are the tiles which are enabled by default, and these are the ones which you can add on. Then we have the quick setting colors too. So using this you can customize the background and the icon color of the quick settings, and the text color too, and the brightness icon too. Then we also have quick settings vibration. You can configure all that stuff. Then if you want to enable or disable the quick settings on the lock screen, and then we also have the tiles animation in flip and rotate. Again, if you just quickly want to see, this is the flip option, and this is the rotate option. And then you can customize the animation duration, low, fast and super fast. Quickly, if you just want to check it out, this is the fast one, and this is the super fast one. Then similarly you can customize the animation interpolator and the task manager animation too. And then in the end we have the brightness slider and the brightness icon. Then we have the navigation bar settings. So we get in the entire DUI, the Today Unicorns interface package in. So first of all we have the smart bar settings. So we have the toggle. If you want to just configure the I will just show it to you now. So first of all you need to start this toggle button editor to be able to configure all the actions of the navigation bar buttons. So from in here you can configure the double tap and the long press actions, and if you uh, if you add another icon, then you can configure its single tap, double tap and long press icons, long press actions. And if you just want to have a look at the uh, custom actions which we get, then these are the options which we have. um, then you can configure its icon to add or remove any icon, or just cancel it. There are a lot of things to customize in here. I'll just go back to the stock layout, uh, and then you can have the contextual buttons, layout position, input method actions, then the button touch animation, ripple or spring. And then you can also configure the buttons transparency. Again, this is a new feature which we have in this update. And you can also customize the navigation button tint. Again, if you just want to set it to any custom color, you can just do that. Then we have the fling gesture interface in. Again, if you want to have a look at the options which we have, so we have the right short swipe, long swipe, similarly with the left part of the fling gesture interface. Then you can customize the single, double tap and the long press actions both on the left and right side. Fling logo, animate the logo, custom logo icon, custom logo image, reset the logo icon, logo color, ripple effects, gesture trails, and the various time thresholds and delays. You can customize all that stuff. So I will just go back to the smart bar interface. And then we also had certain updates to the pulse too. So if you don't know, then pulse are these are beautiful graphical lines which appear down in the navigation bar whenever you are listening to an audio track, or you are playing a video. So well, first of all, we have the render mode, solid lines and fading blocks. I will just play a song and show you the differences. uh, okay, so uh, you can also customize the pulse color and turn on the lava lamp if you want to. And this time the update which we had, the Resurrection Remix 5.7.2, this came in 5.7.2. So the solid line update, this time you can change the sanity level and the lava lamp animation speed to a custom value. Previously to this, we had a certain predefined option such as relaxed, or rock style music, etc. The pulse would act according to that. So first of all, I will show you how the I will just play any music track. um, mm, well, okay, just give me a couple of minutes. uh, in fact, I guess just ignore that if you don't know the lyrics, if you don't get the language. But this is how the pulse looks like in solid lines. And you can just configure the sanity level. The as I put it, the value, as I increase the value, the solid lines become a bit aggressive. And then you can adjust the configure the animation speed too. So uh, again I'll just rewind it. Now I'll be showing you the fading blocks one. So you can configure the pulse bar width, the spacing, all that, the block size, um, the visualize sanity level, and the lava lamp animation speed. So I hope that you are able to get a feel of the changes which come in when I am configuring different values. It's all about. Then you can configure the portrait height and the landscape width in the end. Then we have the button controller. so you can enable multiple options in the power menu, a lot to choose from. You can even set the screenshot delay. You also get the on the go mode, so a lot of options in, and this is how the power menu will look like. So a lot of options. Then we have the press the power button to cut the call, press the power button twice to launch the camera, advanced reboot, one click reboot, another new feature which we have in this update. Then you can also then we have various hardware key customizations, the double tap, short press and the long press actions. Then we have the volume button settings in the end, wake up device, playback control, control ringtone volume instead of the notification volume, keyboard cursor control, and then we have the screenshot and the screen records shortcuts. So reorient the volume keys when the device is rotated, volume up key to answer the call, volume steps, and the next up we have the recent settings are in recents, memory bar, and you can also use the clear all. We also get the clear all button, and we have the entire 6 location back in. And if you want to include the foreground task while pressing the clear all button, then you can do that too. Hidden apps, recent styles, immersive recents, full screen, status bar only, navigation bar only, show clock or date. You can just configure that. And we also do get slim recents and the omni recents too. So I don't use slim recents, so I will just be giving you guys a look at the features which we have in slim recents. So that's all what we have. Then we have the lock screen settings, so you can configure if you want to show the power menu on the lock screen and the notification count. Then we have the lock screen media cover art and the music visualizers. Then we have the lock screen UI, lock screen blur. So as I've always said, just make a note that lock screen blur will consume up some part of your battery too. Again, you can customize the blur effect intensity, lock screen colors, and you can configure a lot of options in here too. Bottom left, the bottom lock screen shortcuts and the middle lock screen shortcuts. Again, this is a new option in this update. Then we have the indication text, clock, date, owner info, alarm, and the other text options and the weather icons too. Then we have the lock screen date fonts. These are the options. Again, they are a repetition of what we have seen previously, but still. Then similarly, you can customize the font size of the clock and date. And then you can, if you just want to disable any of these options which you don't want to show on the lock screen, such as the clock, date, alarm, or the charging current, you can enable and disable them as per your choice. And then we have the bottom lock screen shortcuts and the middle lock screen shortcuts. Then we have the lock screen gestures, double tap to sleep on the lock screen, and lock screen torch. Then you can configure and set a custom wallpaper for the lock screen, different from the launcher you are using. And then we have the weather options too. Again, I will be getting into all the weather provider settings right in the end of the video. Then we have the animation settings. So system animations, again, prevent app overrides, activity open, close, task open, task close, move to front, move to back. A lot of animations to choose from, and all these animations have the same settings in. So I will let you guys have a look at the options which you get for one of them, and similar options will be present for the rest of them. Then we have the toast animations. These are the options which we get. Personally, I prefer to have it this way. Then if you want to show the toast icon, you can do that. Toast text color, you can configure all that stuff. The list view animations, again, these are the options which we have. The power menu animations, these are the options which we get. I prefer to have the bottom one in. Then we have the IME animations, enter animation, exit animation, interpolator, and then the IME duration, and you can configure all that stuff. And then we have the scrolling modifiers too. I guess this is a new update, and this was a feature that was requested a lot. I guess this is a new feature, so I use this a lot. I guess I would like to have the fling velocity around I set it to 12,000, and the scrolling friction maybe up to you can just use this plus and minus buttons for configuring all that stuff. Maybe 110 would do, and then you can configure the each and everything. The scrolling modifiers just make it a bit easy to scroll through the list a bit quicker, so that's up to you then. And then we also get the gesture anywhere and app circle bar, and the app circle bar. Then we have the multitasking options, multi-window mode, floating windows, pie control, all that stuff is present in. So if you want to have a look at the options which you get in pie control, then this is what we have. Pie size, pie gravity, pie style, pie angle, and the item gap. Then we have the miscellaneous options. So from in here you can change the SE Linux status and then you have the dashboard styles. So if you want to have again a look at the options which you have, you can configure the number of columns 1, 2 or 3, and if you want to have the tile view, dividers, and again if you want to show the switches right beside the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth options, then you can enable or disable them. Again you can customize the icons, tile text and the subtext, all that stuff, and the font sizes too. Then we have the blur personalizations. Again this is another new feature which we have. So blur personalizations are disabled during the keyboard view. Please turn off the panel transparency to get best results. Panel transparency will not work with the blur options. Okay, so if you want to have the translucent notifications in transparency level, you can customize all that, blur background in the extended status bar, and the blur level in the quick settings panel and the status bar header. So I guess all of these features have been imported from the Mushroom. It is all about transparency and the translucency, all that stuff that is present to a great extent in Mushroom. So maybe the source of all these features is right there in the Mushroom. So if you just want to have a look at the blur, this is how it will look like. Again I can notice a bit of lag though. Okay, so you can just customize all that stuff. I'll just turn them off. Okay, so then next up you can launch the music app, DOS power save. So just use this feature only when you believe that your device is not ending into the deep sleep mode and DOS is not working. This is kind of a forced DOS mode. Forced DOS is also an exposed application in, but that's that's a different thing. Then you can also restart the system UI, and at the same time you can access this option by pressing on the reboot menu and then on the restart system UI option. Again several changes in here too, in the reboot menu too. Earlier we didn't have all these options in. We used to get an icon right beside them too, but this time they have just sacrificed all the icons, and they have just given us a list of the options which we get. So again, this is a new thing which we have, and then you can customize the weather settings. So maybe I'll just I guess the Wi-Fi was enabled. Yeah, the Wi-Fi is enabled. Again I will just be using a custom location in quickly. I'll be showing you. I know they didn't they haven't given you the option to choose the weather provider too, so I guess that doesn't matter in the end. There you can see that the weather is working perfectly fine. Okay, we'll head back to settings then. Then we have the ad blocker to add away, disable, force close notification, break lock blocker, system app removers. And then we have the advanced option, camera shutter sound, screenshot sound, safe headset volume. You can just enable or disable all that stuff, and then in the end you can check for updates too. Then we have this theme chooser. This is the CM13 theme chooser, and to get the CyanogenOS theme chooser, then you need to flash the C apps. So from in here you can configure the volume dialog timeout, and then under other sounds we have dial pad tone, screen locking sounds, touch sounds, volume adjustment sounds, and the charging sounds too. Then under display and light settings, you can configure the theme, light, dark, and automatic. But the dark theme, it's not applied to the whole part of the whole system UI. Say the power menu is not of the dark color, it is still of the light color. And then if you want to have an automatic layout, so because currently it is 1:26 a.m., it is past midnight, so it will be staying up with the dark color. Then we have wake on plug, daydream. So if you want to configure the LCD density, then you will have to select from preset value of options which you would be getting. And then in the end we have the battery fully charged notification. And also if your device supports the configuration of the LED light colors for the charging and notification stuff, then you would be able to see more options in there. Then you have the notifications. I guess nothing new. Battery, the battery saver, the maximum percentage at which you can enable the battery saver is 35%. And at the same time, you can configure the battery saver notification warning color and the low battery notification from in here too. Security settings, bottom shortcuts can be customized from in here too. Unknown sources is checked in by default. Then privacy settings, privacy guard, blocked, color list, and protected apps. Storage and USB, if you just want to have an eye, so about 1.96 GBs of free space is there. It will occupy around 50% of space. This is only for the Sprout 4 or the Android One first generation device users. And then in the end we will get into the developer options. So root access is enabled by default and Android debugging is not checked in, so just make sure that if you are planning to restore your apps using Titanium backup, then you check in this option. Animation settings are present in here too, and in the end we have the kill app back button. You can also configure that using the smart bar settings, but still you can customize the kill app back button timeout too if you enable it. And then as far as we have the stock CM13 launcher in, and if you want to have a look at the wallpapers which we get, and these are the live wallpapers which we have. I guess they won't themes, and if I open gallery, then maybe it would be just be opening up all the wallpapers which are all the pictures which are present in the gallery. Widgets, again we do have power control, that's all. And I will put down a link on how you can customize this the trebuchet launcher, the stock CM13 launcher too. I have made a separate video on that. And as far as the apps which we get, add away, and that is the ad blocker, audio FX, stock CM13 browser, file manager, kernel orator, resurrection, remix statistics, screen recorder, screencast, sound recorder, all that stuff. So plenty to choose from in. I guess that I have covered up everything. Okay, so guys, that's all what I have got for you guys in this video. So if you like the video, then do hit the thumbs up button, and if you want to get in a new notification in whenever I upload my next video, then do subscribe to my channel as well. So thanks for watching guys, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.